I come home to find Harold Finch alone in my backyard, ripping out my rain garden and jamming my rain barrel's hose into a dry well he dug on my property. Harold jabs his clipboard at me and shouts that I don't own the water flooding my own yard. I kneel at my sinking patio and find a crack wide enough to swallow my thumb, right as Harold turns his back and walks off smirking. I was standing in my own backyard, a pair of muddy gardening gloves still on my hands, staring at the HOA president, a man named Harold Finch, who ran a small accounting firm from his home. He had a clipboard in one hand and a smug look on his face. The rain garden I'd spent 3 weekends planting, native sedges, swamp milkweed, and a small patch of iris, was now a pile of torn roots and overturned soil. My rain barrel, a 50-gallon plastic drum I'd connected to the downspout, was tilted on its side, a length of hose shoved into a dry well he'd had dug that morning. I didn't raise my voice. I just said, "Harold, that barrel collects water from my roof. That's my property." He laughed. "It's HOA common area water." The board voted. "Your garden was causing a drainage issue." I looked past him at the street. A new trench had been cut along the curb, funneling the entire neighborhood's storm runoff toward my lot. The water had already pooled in a low spot near my patio, and the concrete slab was beginning to sink. A crack ran from the edge of the foundation to the back door, wide enough to fit my thumb. I spent the next week documenting everything. I took photos of the destroyed garden, the tilted barrel, the new trench, and the cracked patio. I called the county surveyor's office and pulled the original plat map for the subdivision. I learned that my lot sat at the lowest point of a natural drainage swale, and that the HOA had no recorded easement to redirect water onto my property. I called an attorney named Sharon Delgado, who specialized in property disputes. She told me about a state rainwater harvesting law that explicitly preempted any HOA rule restricting rain barrels or rain gardens. She also mentioned a quiet title action to establish an implied drainage easement. If I could prove the HOA had created a nuisance by diverting water onto my land, I filed the quiet title action in county court, along with a statutory claim under the rainwater harvesting law. I attached my photos, the plat map, and a log of every rain event over the past month, documenting the water flow. The HOA hired a lawyer who argued that the board had the right to manage common area drainage. But in discovery, I got a copy of their meeting minutes from 6 months earlier, where Harold had noted that my rain garden was unsightly and that he wanted to fix the flooding problem by moving the water onto my lot. The judge ruled in my favor. She ordered the HOA to install proper drainage infrastructure that directed runoff away from my property and to pay for the foundation repairs. The total came to $17,000. The HOA's insurance covered most of it, and Harold had to resign from the board after the minutes were made public. I rebuilt the rain garden, bigger this time, and put 2 barrels under the downspout. The foundation settled after the repairs, and the crack was sealed. Sometimes you have to prove that the water you catch is the water you own. Have you ever checked your plat map to see where the drainage on your lot actually goes?